Yo, what's going on, Slade? What's up, Ultraverse Studios? Yes, it has it has been a long time. Yeah. Finding the time has been difficult, to say the least. I was gonna wait for at least a few people to get in here to start the Polestar Expedition. I've been kind of avoiding reading or watching anything about it, just so I can kind of go in with a fresh mindset. I've actually really been enjoying the expedition, so I'm pretty excited about it. Are you really wearing your Hidden Panda Show shirt? That's what's up, dude. That's what's up. Heck yeah. I'm pumped to hear that. I don't know, it's just like I watched a Captain Steve video the other day too about like his speculation regarding sort of like the error screens that are like kind of littered all throughout No Man's Sky and in the Nexus and the space stations and all that kind of stuff. And then that was kind of getting me like hyped. And then I just happened to find some time today. So, and I was like, you know what? Let me stream. Let me get on this Polestar Expedition. Oh, while you're here, Slade, let me show you the base I'm working on. I'll put his like link in the description if I remember the channel. I came across a really small YouTube channel with a guy who did a video that I found really interesting about how people complain about lack of like terrain diversity and stuff in No Man's Sky. And he said that people just don't explore the planets enough, and like this planet is a perfect example of that, because the planetary terrain changes really drastically, just depending on what part of the planet you're on. You know, like this particular area or region of this world is very mountainous and has these like big crevices and caverns and caves and all these kind of different things going for it, which look nothing like other parts of the planet, which is like more kind of tropical, you know, kind of vibe to it. So after watching his video, I was like, you know what? I need to spend more time kind of exploring the planets, you know. But I'm kind of in the early stages of this base right here, so. Sword, what's going on, dude? Yeah, the asteroids, man, that trips me out. Still, like, I've been needing that, though. I could not stand just the random asteroids everywhere. I feel like I bitched about that for years. But, like, I'm glad they did something with that and kind of got rid of that. But, yeah, so kind of working on this little doodad right here. I love the location of it. So, like, I like that it's kind of, like, recessed into this, I don't know what you'd call this here, like a gorge. But it's kind of like a lake just surrounded by these mountains. It, like, reminds me of, like, some pictures I've seen of, like, Finland and different parts of, like, Scandinavia and stuff like that, where, like, you know, there's these, like, lakes and just wrapped in these really high and kind of crazy-looking mountains, and just kind of made me think of that. So I kind of slapped a base in here. I don't have power or anything to it yet. But I'm going to be doing some, at least what I think are interesting things with it. But unlike Fiji, where it's like this massive base, this isn't going to be quite like that. It's going to be a lot more kind of like I guess, look more like a home kind of vibe to it. But I'm gonna get some power going and get some lights and have like a lot of decorations in here. But I wanted this side to kind of have a really nice view of those mountains where the sun comes in. You know, with that kind of cool, like, green and blue kind of color gradient vibe that it's got going on. A little dining room area up in here. So, but... I gotta get power going on it. They finally listened. Yeah, I mean, it's like... It's taking a lot of time, but it's finally... I'm finally starting to see the game take shape in a way that, to me, really matters. Because there's like a few things. It's like I love all these features that they're adding and all of that, but then I feel like on some ends, a lot of the stuff is kind of half-assed. You know, I mean, I hate to say that, but it's like they'll add this one feature, but it's really incomplete. And then there's other things that, you know, they never fixed or never like truly addressed. So that's kind of where I've been at with it for a while. But I feel like the little pieces are starting to connect in a way where it's like, okay, I can see the logic behind why they're doing it in this order or why they're doing it in this way, and things are just kind of starting to come together. But like, yeah, man, dude, I love that. I love that. It's like I feel like I've been heard. You know? God, I hated that so much. Couldn't take a screenshot in space without asteroids everywhere, you know? Oh, your daughter's back to playing it again? That's what's up, dude. Hell yeah. Well, as you guys kind of start to populate the chat there, just kind of, I know it's been a long time since I've like really streamed, but you guys know the rules, or at least I hope you remember the rules. But if anybody wants to jump in the chat and like hang out with me, like in the voice chat, let me know. I'll create a party and invite you in, and just make make sure your mic is set to share your audio and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, obviously everybody's welcome. But see, like, this is a different part of that same planet, which is like more coastal and oceanic, and it's more hills. There's really no mountains and stuff like that. So I think, you know, that I'm gonna link it in the description. I'm gonna find that video. But that small YouTube channel, like, really, well, I guess I'm technically a small YouTube channel, but like, it really spoke to me. I mean, the guy was like, you're just not exploring the planets enough. Like, there's so much more out there to explore and to see from a terrain standpoint, which, you know, I mean, I totally get that. You know, so I mean, this area of the planet is just entirely different than the area that I was just at, you know. And so, like, now when I land on a planet, it's like I want to really explore it more, because I might not initially appreciate it for what it is, but then, you know, there's many more things that you can see and come across. But yeah, since a few of you are in here now, I'm going to go save in the space station, and then I'll start that expedition. Slade, I think the galactic resets are kind of over, man. You know? I know a lot of people are wishing for them. I think it would be good, you know, to kind of like Ultraverse Studios like comment about you know, like wanting more creatures and stuff added in. I think that can be done without necessarily like resetting the game. I stopped believing that they would reset the the universe of No Man's Sky when they did the Abyss update, where they changed like the oceans and stuff, because they did a terrain overhaul without really affecting hardly anything. You know, I mean, they changed the depth of the oceans, the way the ocean terrain is done, and everything kind of remained the same. So I think, yeah, Slade, it's a freaking awesome planet. I think the days of like the whole universe resets are kind of gone. There is a big positive to that. There's also a negative. Dude, Tyler Thunder, what's going on? You and I, Tyler, have not chatted in a while. I've had such little time that like when I jump into party chat, I can't handle too much going on. And sometimes like me and Hidden are both so busy that when we finally get a chance to like get on together in a game, we just kind of want it to be us sometimes. Oh, I'm doing well, Tyler, and yeah, we definitely should party chat sometime. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, Captain Steve made a really good speculation video about this that's on here. He also showed that, or at least said that from what he can find, this doesn't match any of like the known language font that is predominant through most of the game. So, and you see these at the black market trader. There's one terminal in the Nexus that has it. There's infected planets that have that particular terminal message. It almost seems very intentional for it to be in those specific spaces. So it's just a beautiful piece of speculation from Captain Steve regarding that. And actually, I'll just call the Nexus right here. Oh, okay. Well, you know, Slade, gonna share a pic from you on the future of Dominus. Oh, appreciate that, dude. That'd be sick. I was really upset when the Abyss update happened and Fiji, like Anya, the planet that Fiji's on, that water went from like blue to red, which really it took the wind from out of my sails in terms of like editing that base. So I was like really gung-ho about getting it done, and then the whole like aesthetic I was going for got turned upside down on its head when that happened. So I mean, I can totally get that, you know. Okay, where's the thing here? Can't remember where that is that he showed that. Uh-oh. There we go. Which, by the way, guys, it's been a hot minute since I've like streamed or anything like that, so let me know if like my quality's okay, if it's manageable. You know, it looks really good now, to be honest. I've got to let the world populate here. The base looks really good. The planet looks really good at night. I can't remember where it is. I don't want to mess with it right now. The planet looks really good at night with all the new kind of like grass and stuff like that. But I was kind of going for like more of a, I don't know, kind of tropical Caribbean vibe. Don't crash. With the Fiji base, and it just kind of messed me up. Because I did really enjoy building like bases for a while, but then it kept changing. That, you know, like first you didn't need power, and so then I had like hundreds of lights all over my base, and then suddenly like you needed power, so none of the lights would work. So I had to go back and wire all these lights, and I mean it was just one thing after the next thing that it just like what? But here, I'll go to Fiji just to show you real quick. But I kind of went back to it and got it a little bit more up and running. Kind of updated it some. Fiji, 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 Fiji. Did I miss it? There it is. I haven't seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movies, but I thought about it because I heard that they were actually surprisingly good. Video game movies don't translate very well because the games are always better than the movies. I think we like learned that over the years, you know. They either need to be so different from the games that they're their own kind of standalone thing that you can appreciate. But when they try to make it too similar to the games, it always lands on its face. I mean, obviously I've got some old base building parts here, but this is Fiji. Give the rest of it a chance to like load in here. Might take a second. So there's a lot to this place. It's kind of a bird's eye view. You'll get a better look here in a second once it all loads in. Yeah, Tyler. I mean, it just it's like anime, right? Like one of my favorite anime ever was Cowboy Bebop. It's classic, you know, Gundam Wing back in the day, Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super now, which I love that whole series. But I love sci-fi stuff, and one of my favorites was Cowboy Bebop. And Dallos, there's a few other, but that was a real big one for me. And then Netflix kind of came out with a series, and the first 2 episodes really slapped. I was like, okay, this is pretty sick. But then it just kind of started to, I lost interest as it went along. And a lot of that just has to do with like it doesn't translate well, you know, because you can do so much more with animation that like is difficult, more difficult to pull off in live action. And animation is so much more expressive, and so I feel the same way with a lot of video game movies. It's a medium that's not really meant to cross over very well. There we go. So it's loaded in now. And there's a few other things I got to do in here, so it's not fully complete. But I got it back up and running and got it lit up. Also, I don't know how well you can see it, but there's like an island back there. And Hidden put a base computer there. It's not uploaded yet, but he's going to start building a base on that side over there, and then we're going to build a road. So which we've tested, and it works, you know. So we're actually going to build a road from Fiji, and it's going to interlink with his base over here that's going to be on that island, and he's going to have his own thing over there. And then you'll actually be able to, and we'll put an exocraft geobay and stuff, and you'll actually be able to drive across this like highway from one base to the other. And if the mechanics of that works well, then there's another island that is also not very far away that we'd like to do that at, and then we'll kind of have like a network with roadways of places that are kind of like interconnected here. But basically, I built this entire base just off of this one little piece of land right here. And I've got all these individual huts, and I've got a NMS Cafe themed hut over there that I dedicated to Lily Hop. And you go down there, you've got the submarine geobay. You got these like little villas right here. A little bit more decorating I'd like to do. I don't want to have to completely restart, so I'm just trying to make use of the new building parts with the old building parts that were originally here. Yeah, dude, tomato juice oceans. Yeah, I hate it. It's at night it's beautiful and it's blue, but like when I first built this here, it was blue ocean, and dude, it killed me, man. It absolutely killed me when the Abyss update made it like red. But I was going for this like whole resort vibe here. And it took me forever to slap this together too. Little cabana bar kind of thing going. Little lounge. So, I mean, it's getting there. I also got to buy some bite beat music or something. I don't know how that works. I got to figure that out still. But that's just like a little beat I whipped together that annoys the shit out of me. But yeah, there's that little island back there that you're going to be able to like drive to, where there's going to be like another base. But oh yeah, and then there's just like restaurant portion down here. Give them a little get concierge. But anyway, let's start that expedition. I'll just catch up on the chat real quick, see if I missed anything. Slade, you know, that's a good reason to take a break from the game. I took a break from the game because I've been playing it since launch, and there's a lot of other really great games out there, and I would buy some games and then just not play them because I was playing and streaming No Man's Sky and everything so much that like I just, you know, there's other cool stuff out there, dude, and I was playing it for so long, you know, and not as long as some people. I mean, I've only got 1,100 hours in the game compared to some people who've got a lot more than that. But I just wanted to try something different, dude, you know, ultimately. So let's, how do I delete? There we go, delete. Okay. And then let's start an expedition. Try playing Space Lords? What's that? You know, if you had no concept of Cowboy Bebop before the live action, you may like the show, but the live action or the anime is so much better that it didn't hit for me. Slade, you built so many bases, and some of the coolest ones I've ever seen. You know, honestly... Oh, damn, this starts on a freighter? Okay. That's a first. Your freighter will be your primary mode of transport as the starship is heavily restricted. Earn exclusive rewards by completing milestones. Complete milestones in any order. Take your capital ship on a cruise through the galaxy to each of the rendezvous points to earn large rewards. Exclusive expedition rewards can be accessed on any save. The cruise of the EV-4 Aeronamig has begun. The expedition tab will show you progress through the journey. Okay. Space Lords is like Overwatch Space with Steel Balls. Dude, have you played Splitgate? It's kind of it's a shooter, but like it's like an indie shooter. It's freaking fun, dude. Okay. So I guess I'm a crewmate on a freighter. Is that what I'm getting from this? Warning, capital ship severely damaged. Select log 1 emergency to assess the situation. Find new milestones in the expedition tab. Hey there. Alright. Yeah, Splitgate is fire. It is, dude. Got Rambo Perry in the chat. I think I know who that is. It started me in first person. I kind of like that in the freighter. We'll probably just keep it that way. Okay. Alright, so let's see what we're looking at here. Milestone log 1, emergency. Alright, what do I gotta do? View details. Read the cruise log. The vessel and its crew keep a log of their progress, the ship's conditions, and their general reflections. Speak to the freighter commander to browse ship records. Okay. Got it. You are the commander. The freighter's master stand at ease, awaiting my instructions. Access ship log. Data stamp 2002-02.5 arrived in the Wazaki system. I love that name, Wazaki. Warp engine shut down mid-jump. Reactor critically damaged. They're starting to run out of parts now. We can't continue like this. At least the captain's cryopod is beginning to thaw. Alright. Log 1 emergency. Cool, cool. Don't you dare brandish that weapon on me, Commander Oglabadere. Alright, let's claim rewards. The rewards are going to be Starship Inventory Slot, Salvage Frigate Module, Wiring Loom, Cargo Bulkhead, Purple Paint, Freighter, Customization. Every now and again, I'm going to get distracted because my work phone's in front of me, and that's going to be going off constantly. Just FYI. Let me get that. Give me that. You know, shuttles are the underdog of, like, No Man's Sky ships, but I think a lot of them have really cool designs, and to me, they have, like, one of the best cockpits. Like, am I alone in this in the chat? The Suplada. Yeah. You best believe this freighter gonna be purple. Unlock this color for freighter customization. A self-replicating cloud of highly pigmatized nano-robots swarm the capital ship, changing its external appearance. I love how there's like lore to just changing your ship color. All right. We got the cargo bulkhead. Okay. Okay. What do you need? I can fix you. I can fix you. Okay. Wait. Yeah, this color got to go. We're gonna purple it up. Let's purple it up. Yeah, let me get that perp, cuz. Boom. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Purple with green engines? Yes, please. Unsubscribing? Why so, Sword? How dare you? I'd like to know what your reasoning is, kind sir. Shuttle ships are... Is it because of the shuttles? It better not be because of the shuttles. Shuttle ships are the devil. They're also a dark, dark deuce. I know Rambo Perry. I don't know if he wants me to call out who he is in the chat. But we had a conversation the other day about dark deuces. And we should really not have been laughing as hard as we were. I'm not going to go into what that is, but I want y'all to think about dark deuce. Already. All right. Hey, that ain't how the freighter looked a second ago. Shuttles are for scrapping? Bro, that's messed up, dude. Let's fix it. Boom, boom. Get her done. Atmospheric control unit repaired. I need 2 antimatter housing. Well, what do we got? What can we make? I don't got nothing. Alright. What's next in my objective list here? All hands on deck. Repair vital freighter systems. Reward antimatter. 2-star ship launch fuel repair kit. Yada, yada, yada. Okay. Set foot on a planet. Let's do it. Oh, it just took a second for it to acknowledge that I repaired that. I was about to say. It's like I think I did it. Slade, have you played around with the new freighter base building stuff, dude? It's epic. Epical. A hidden Rambo. Yeah. Maybe. You should totally do No Man's Sky short films, dude. Alright, planet side. Set foot on a planet. Is that my next mission? It is my next mission. Okay. Let's hit the teleporters. Bro, why is this just in here on fire like this? Like, we got 3 guys over here just hanging out by the scissor lift. One's just staring dead ass at the wall. Okay. These guys are just like chilling over here looking at this panel, just pointing at stuff. He's on his iPad, you know what I'm saying? Looking at his Insta page, making sure he's getting some good clout. Meanwhile, my shuttle is over here just ablaze. No one is doing anything about this. I am surrounded by the worst people. Alright. Can it fly? She can fly. Alright, dude, the way this freighter looks and the way it's showing me it looks here, dude, are not the same. Glitch. Alright, let's roll. What do we want to set foot on? Well, all right. So I think, am I still on fire? Dude, I sure am, dude. I'm just ablaze. I think Sword was right, dude. Shuttles are just for scrapping, dude. Holy shit. Okay, I think I want to go to... I'll go to the radioactive planet. What a glitch in No Man's Sky? No, couldn't be. No Man's Sky is free of glitches. It's a perfect game. Why is the performance of this so bad right now? Okay. Free parking? Yes, please. It does feel like some old times, my friends.
Radiation protection falling.
Alright, let's claim that one. Well, do I have refiner room plans, oxygen, ban hazard protection upgrade? Sounds good. Where are the bronies? Let's... I guess it like auto-claimed it, didn't it? Yeah. Well-oiled machine. Construct a refiner room. Dude, I should have done this right after the update just so I could better understand the different base building mechanics that came with the endurance update for freighters. Oh, that looks cool over there. Alright, let's see. Exosuit. Slade, did you really start your own t-shirt shop? Dude, that's what's up.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
How long's that been a thing now? Dude, I feel like this game's gonna crash any second now. It is so weird. Okay. Gotta save it just in case. Dude, radioactive planets are still some of my favorite planets. Alright, got the snub-nosed Rasamamas with the big wings. I see you. Alright, just had the Jedi Starfighter fly up underneath me. That I wouldn't mind copping. Get me a little Jedi Starfighter right there. Hell yeah. Okay.
Radiation protection falling.
Oh, I ain't got no power. Damn. Nice, dude. So are you doing it as like an LLC? Or you just sole proprietor registration? Both is trash. But when I get a little change in my pocket, I'm gonna cop it only because it's gonna match my freighter. Partnership, nice. Wow, dude, you did a job for Deutsche Bank? That's sick. That's a big client. Was it a pretty big order? Alright, let's go build that refiner room. I can't wait until one day I can look down and, like, I got arms and legs, you know what I'm saying? Like, how is that a thing in VR, but it's not a thing in, like, base game? Like, riddle me that. That's awesome, dude. I feel like that word's gonna get around, you know what I mean? Like right now it's like Deutsche Bank, but like you killed it, they're happy. So then maybe next time it's like, you know, maybe one of the guys there is friends with somebody who works for some like a credit union or like a different bank, and they'll hit you up for something different. That's awesome. Yeah, where is this? What is with this fire? Okay. Let's head back home. Alright, so where do I build this refiner room? Where should I put you? Let's go. Well, let's just put it right here. Who cares? Alright, I need dihydrogen jelly. Of course, I'm not going to have that. No, I've got to go get dihydrogen jelly. Does anybody know why that's on fire? Like, is there anything I can do about this?
Radiation protection falling. Units received.
Alright, let's make that dihydrogen jelly.
Product constructed.
And get more dihydrogen just in case.
Radiation protection falling.
I don't know what's going on with my PlayStation 5 where it just like stutters like this. This is crazy. Alright, don't have a recipe for that yet. Let me guess, I'm gonna need hazmat gloves? Oh, advanced mining laser. Okay. I'm so used to playing on my main save and just like having everything already that like I almost forget just some of the most basic mechanics of the game a lot of the time. I'm not in multiplayer, but I can invite you to my session if you're trying to play with me. Alright, let's go build this room. Let's do it. You want to get in the party chat too, Slade? I don't know what it is about that square wing like that, but I think this ship looks cool as hell. Damn, that's a kind of a sick ship. Okay. Oh, I need 2 dihydrogen jelly. Got it. Boom. A well-oiled machine. Permission to come aboard, Captain. Alright, cool. Alright, guys, I'm going to invite Slade into the chat here. Slade, make sure that your options are set to share party chat audio.
Hello, hello.
What's going on, dude?
Not a whole lot. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt your broadcast, brother, but it's really good to see you on.
Oh, not at all, man. I was actually just going through the settings right now and making sure everything was set to like where people could hear you. So as long as you're sharing on your end, should be good.
I believe I am. I'm trying to figure out where the okay, party audio settings. Party voice chat connection. I'm pretty sure it's yeah, allow your voice to be shared. We're all set.
Cool.
Been meaning to get a hold of you, man. I almost freaking called you because I still have your number from, I don't know if it's the same number from a couple years ago. But I was just like, dude, I'd fucking love to talk to Pan right now, but it's just, I don't play, like, or hadn't been playing No Man's Sky for quite some time, so now it's like a new game to me again, which is kind of what I was hoping for because everything is kind of new, like the freighter stuff and expeditions. I haven't even completed an expedition yet. So
The expeditions, to me, they kind of had a rough start, and then it didn't really get my interest until there was like the pirate update. There was an expedition before that that was good that I liked, that I actually completed. Then I completed the pirate one. I forget what it was called, and then
you're gonna have to do the pirate one, for sure, because fucking Slade Braddock, man.
dude, they got to like relaunch that one because you can basically be a space pirate now, which is kind of how I play the game. So like I just now I just go raid convoys of trading ships and steal all the resources and run pirate missions and take out bounties, and so it's like a lot's changed, man. They've just made it super cool.
They have, and I've just like scratched the surface. I keep like they'll add something, and I'll want to go in and explore it, but then I'm like, okay, what I'm gonna do, and this is what happened sort of with the colonies. What are they called again?
The settlements.
The settlements, yeah. I went in and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the settlement, and I'm like, I'm gonna get all interested in it, and then I did the settlement, and then I was done with the settlement, and I'm like, now what? And I'm like, and I didn't know enough about, like, I hadn't got a handle on the new building mechanics at that point yet. So I was intimidated by that. I didn't want to do that. And there was really nothing, like, not a story arc to pursue. So I kind of, like, set it aside again and waited for a couple more, updates and stuff. And, like, the freighter stuff has, like, got me intrigued. So.
The freighter base building is pretty interesting. It's still a little bit over my head. I've got to play around with it some more.
Same.
But it is definitely...
like you were saying, like the user interface is challenging again.
Yep. Dude, my game keeps freezing. I don't know why.
Like for a long time, or just like...
Yeah. Well, I put in one of those... SSDs for the PlayStation 5. You know how you can like plug in one of those M.2s?
No. I
So
don't have a PlayStation 5 yet, but...
Well, on the PlayStation 5, you can take the panel off, and they allow you to do that. It's not like rigging it or anything. But you can put an M.2 solid-state drive on there, and there are some that are already like rated for the PlayStation 5, but you just have to make sure it like meets the system's minimum requirements, and then they recommend that you have a heatsink on it and stuff like that. And I put one of those in there, but this is the only game so far where it like seems to be stuttering. So it might just be, I don't know if it's just my PlayStation's just tripping because I'm streaming at the same time or what, but
extra load on there maybe, I don't know.
yeah, possibly. It like freezes and pauses up for like a hot second. It's like I can't do anything, and then I gotta wait a few seconds. But anyway.
Well, can I jump in your game while you're doing an expedition, or does that probably messes you all up, right?
No, I don't think it messes anything up at all.
Right.
I've started an expedition with Hidden before, so here I'll just invite you to it.
So yeah, it's good. Is Hidden still playing his music or what?
Yeah. He still does shows and.
When's he gonna be in upstate New York? Because I know he was like up this way. I think like a year ago or something like that. Wasn't he like somewhere close by? Like I was seriously considering driving out and seeing him, but it was a little too far, I think.
Yeah, that band that he was with, they were touring at the time, and then now they're on a little bit of a hiatus, and then they're recently started practicing again, and they may go back on tour. But he plays with two different bands. So he plays with Head Trauma, and then he plays with another band called Solar Eclipse. And so he's kind of, and then he's got a full-time job on top of that. So he's like,
okay, so he's busy guy. I know he does tour too, right? With Head Trauma.
yep.
Time to time.
Yeah, he's been on like 2 countrywide tours with them or something like that. And
Has he toured with this other band, Solar Eclipse? at all?
No,
Or-
so that's a newer band that they're just getting started. They've got an EP out right now. It's instrumental tech metal. So there's like no vocals or anything like that. It's like a sci-fi themed like tech metal band.
Okay.
So if you like that kind of stuff. But.
I like all kinds of stuff. Just little doses of everything, man. That's what I dig. You know, like
Yeah.
I can't listen to reggae all day long, but I could jam on some fucking Bob Marley or some 311 or something like that, like for a couple hours or something. You know.
Yeah, one day I'm into ska, and then like another day I'm like listening to like a Joe Bonamassa like live compilation or something like that.
That's nice. I like having a wide portfolio of music. So how do I get into? I saw some invitation, but I don't know where to go to accept that.
Well, so with the expeditions, you have to open up a new save,
Okay.
and then you select Community Expedition.
I have one because I think I ditched my creative save entirely, and I had two normals and two permadeaths. With the least amount of all four of my saves has 165 hours on it. So anyway, alright, so new game. I got a slot right here, and
Yep.
now we're going with
Community
Expedition.
That's
Holy
it.
fuck, dude. Sorry, I know I'm cussing a lot. Sorry about that.
That's fine.
So Community Expedition. I have not even seen this menu before. That is super cool.
Yep. Everybody starts in the same area. So by default, you'll probably just end up in my lobby anyway, and you'll be in like the same space.
I hope so. Has it gotten a little bit better with, saying you're there and then we can't see each other and that type of thing? I know
Yeah.
they've gradually gotten better since I've been playing, but I mean, since I've been, it still was happening time to time when, like with the anomaly and stuff, you'd show up at the anomaly and you'd have two different instances of it, even when you're in a group. So does it still do that, or?
I haven't seen that as much. Like normally when someone's in your fire team, they're in your fire team.
Sweet. That's all I ever wanted.
Yep.
No Man's Sky. That's freaking all I ever wanted.
Well, and now they're like geared towards like actually like you can do like the weekend missions and like the community like the Nexus missions and stuff. Like you can actually join in other players like even randoms like missions. So like when you go to the mission board, you can just jump into people's fire teams and stuff like that and like complete missions with them and.
Right, yeah, I've done that a couple times.
They're.
I haven't tried it with an expedition yet, so I wasn't sure how that worked.
Yep, they're gearing up really well for like more community-based play, which is good. I mean,
Heck yeah.
because initially
So,
when they added the multiplayer thing, I was just gonna say like they didn't like the game wasn't encouraging you to like cooperate with the people in your lobby, but now there's a little bit more incentive for that. What were you gonna say?
I forgot. I was gonna say I'm just gonna like be your lackey, right? Just follow you around and let you do your stream and try not to get in your way and help you do your mission, because I really don't care about any of this yet right now. I will do it on when I'm like focused on my own and stuff, right? So I mean, I'll just like you can bounce stuff off me while you're trying to do this, and while you're showing people how to do this stuff. How's that?
Oh, no worries.
Or I can just distract you the whole damn way. It's up to you entirely.
No, it's, if anything, it'll help kind of keep me focused and talking. Whenever I do these expeditions, I have a tendency to like kind of zone out.
Gotcha.
But what's cool, since you haven't done one before, what's cool about the expeditions is like when you complete the expedition, all the rewards and everything that you get can transfer to your normal save. So like all of the skin, like your suit customizations or like cape customizations or any of the rewards, the major milestone rewards for the expedition, you can pull that from the Quicksilver mission, the Quicksilver shop in the Nexus, like in your normal save across all saves.
Oh, tight. That's
Yep.
awesome.
The other thing that they fixed as well with the last update is if you and I are in a multiplayer lobby, we can both have our freighters called.
Really?
So there's no more like if you're in someone's lobby and they've got a freighter in that system. It used to be you had to like jump out of that system to another system if you wanted to be able to call your freighter,
Right.
and they couldn't like dismiss it. Once you call your freighter in that system, it's there until you go to another system and call it again. Well, now you can actually dismiss your freighter from a system
Oh.
that you're in, but anybody in your lobby can call their freighter in. Now the catch is if my freighter's called in and you call your freighter in, my freighter disappears for you. But when you dismiss your freighter, it shows my freighter shows back up for you again.
Even though it hasn't moved.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Wow. That's
Yeah.
that's handy. I mean, damn.
I mean, it changes the game. Like Hidden's
It does.
freighter isn't as good as my freighter, and so he can call his in and pull resources that we might need or whatever, and he can transfer them between inventories and all that kind of stuff, and then dismiss his freighter, and then he can just ride with me and my freighter because I've got all the upgrades and I've got long warp range and all that.
Right. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was one thing that I noticed when I logged in here earlier today. Actually, it's hilarious that you're streaming tonight, so it's pretty cool. So I was at least able to remember how to walk and stuff before jumping in here. But what happened was I got onto my freighter and I tried to warp. So I was trying to get my daughter right to get her to my. Because she's starting a whole new save, so I was trying to get her to one of my farms, so she could have a little easier time of it, right?
Right.
And I tried to, so I was like, all right, well, we'll both jump in my freighter, we'll warp over to my farm, and then you can do it. Because I was just gonna let her just turn her loose, because I'm not gonna like give her a bunch of stuff, because she wants to learn the tutorials and stuff and do all that. So I'm like, cool, but we'll at least put you in a spot that will make that easy for you, one of my farms. So what happened was I got my freighter, couldn't warp, and it wanted this new technology that I've never heard of and don't have. So I was stuck, and I wasn't sure how to get her to my farms because she doesn't have the glyphs. She hasn't done, the Artemis quest or any of that, right?
Right.
So I wasn't really sure how to get her in outside of, and then I was like, okay, dumbass, just log out and then, or have her log out and then warp to my system and then have her join my game where I'm at. Because I was in some weird freaking area of the galaxy at the time. Anyway, so yeah, we got that figured out, but now I've got to go back to my freighter and find some tech. Get some tech in there.
Have you done any of the base building stuff with your freighter yet?
Not a thing.
If I remember rightly, did you play the game from launch?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I have done some base building stuff, but not with So when I logged in, they moved everything. So I used to run up the stairs, right, turn left, and head straight back to the cargo bay. And now it's like, oh no, that's not there anymore. It's it's different. It looks the same from the outside. It's got the same name and everything, the same freighter, and all my. When you get to the cargo room, it looks just like the same layout. It's just getting there is different. It's bizarre, but anyway.
Well, I remember. I think it might have been the Pathfinder update, or maybe Atlas Rises. The base building in the freighters was actually much better prior to Next, because you could you could increase the height of a room. Do you remember that?
Yeah, you could actually build outside the freighter. I remember. Do you remember when Dark
Lord Zelric?
Yeah, Zelric and it was also mostly Dark Lord Zelric was doing some, and I was doing some experimentations with going outside and building, outside the freighter and stuff like that. But I never did quite get it down the way Dark Lord did. But
well, now you can just do that. You can just build outside the freighter.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can walk around the outside of it. You can actually see where you're building and how it looks externally when you're outside the freighter. 100%.
Holy shit, dude! I haven't done
Yeah.
that.
There's still a couple of things I liked about the old base building, like being able to increase my ceiling height and all of that kind of stuff. But like they're working on that. So like initially when the endurance update came out, they didn't have stairs. You had to take ladders to upper levels and stuff. But like now you can put stairwells inside of your freighter and stuff like that. So you can actually increase the size and scale and accessibility of like your freighters. Like they've done a lot of really good stuff with that.
Very cool. Yeah, I shall have to add that to my to-do list.
Let's see here. So are you currently in game now working on your missions?
I am game, so I am in game, and I'm on my freighter, and so this is a different freighter, right? This is not my freighter, or is it my freighter?
I don't know. I think the storyline of this expedition, you're just like a crew member on the freighter, and like you're just working for the commander, is what it seems like.
Okay, yeah. So this is a fresh whole start. This is Navigator High has prepared an expedition for my fleet, but my freighter lacks a fleet command room. I need to maintain communications during the voyage. Okay, so yeah, so that's the whole thing. We got a capital ship severely damaged, and that's the whole thing. Got to get that thing up and running, huh?
Yep.
So how far along are you on yours now?
I feel like I'm like halfway through the first leg of the expedition, and probably what I'll do is like when I stream it, I'm probably just going to do a stream for like each leg, basically, which I think there's 5. Let's see here. I'm going to send you, because you're not in my lobby, but I'm going to send you my, well, let's view nearby player list.
Yeah, I don't even know if we're on, like we've added each other to the friends thing since the update or not. Since that one time.
Yep. It's not even showing you on my nearby player list. But what I'll do is I'll send you my friend code and you can just add me from that.
Engage Singularity Engine. Not installed. I don't have a Singularity Engine on my freighter either. Sadly. And my daughter's playing again, and she plays for about 20 minutes at a time because she's got 3 kids. She's going to school, juggling her husband's weird work hours, and she texts me. She's like, "Dad, I'm jumping on No Man's Sky. One of my friends is playing." She's like, "Can you help me out?" I'm like, "No, but I'll help you get started."
Yeah, I work really weird hours as well.
Yeah, you're still doing the tech.
No, because of COVID, we couldn't get stuff. What's going on, Funny Imps? Because of COVID, we just couldn't get stuff. Like it just supply chain stuff was bad. Stuff wasn't coming in. I didn't get paid till installs were put in, and installs were always delayed. It became a big problem, and so one of my buddies worked for an HVAC company, and so I got trained and certified and all that stuff, and now I work in HVAC.
Shit, well, you're probably still making fucking bank, so that's good. I know if you get in with a good company, you can make pretty good money.
Yeah, you definitely can, and 'tis the season. But like this is my second year with the company. Last year, I did pretty well in the summer, but then the winter you learn pretty quickly. You can't have as much fun with what you think you had in the summer because you're not going to make that in the wintertime. Because our winters aren't cold enough, so we don't have like a furnace season.
Right.
It's all summer money.
That's right. You're down in
Texas.
Texas. Oh shit. How close are you to Austin?
A couple hours drive.
Just a couple hours, right?
Yep.
I lived in Killeen for a little while, if you know where that is.
Mm-hmm.
Killeen, Texas. The kangaroos, the fighting kangaroos.
Yeah.
I spent the summer there. Actually, I got in trouble at home in Washington State, and I spent the summer down there with my sister, who was stationed down there. Well, married to her husband, who was stationed down there. And I was supposed to be, being a good boy and getting my act together, but we did way more partying down there than before when I was back home. So, talk about a party town, man. Tell you what, I loved my short stay in Texas for sure.
It's I've been a lot of places in a lot of different areas, and Texas holds a special place in my heart. There's just something about it that doesn't feel like anywhere else to me. So it's kind of hard to explain.
No, you don't have to, because like I said, it was a short summer, but it made a big impression on my young life. I think I was 17 years old. So
yeah.
And I met this little girl down there. She was super nice. I hated to leave and go back home, but
Well, and like I live in Dallas, so like there's not a lot in Dallas. Dallas is just a metroplex. It's where everybody like lives and works, but there's not as much to do. They're like revamping the historic district and the arts district and all that, so that there's like more events and activities. Because if you're an outdoorsy person, you want to be in Austin, you want to be in San Marcos, San Antonio, New Braunfels. I
want to be in Austin anyway, because that's where Rogan is. So.
Yep. Yeah. Rogan's in Austin. A lot of people have like moved to Austin.
A lot of freedom-loving people.
Yep.
Who sort of don't want to be caught up in the new normal. Are moving there. And it's bizarre how everything is changing. Everything, the entertainment industry, everything else. Well, your job is directly impacted by that. But.
Yeah. Well, and like it just everything feels forced now. It doesn't feel genuine. So like all the inclusion and everything now just feels forced and like shoved in your face. It doesn't feel like like genuine.
No, it's not. It's the new sort of tyranny.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it. Being forced on us by a little Norwegian girl, or Swedish, or I can't remember where she's from, but Greta Thunberg, God bless her, but she's not my president. And I have a president. I think everybody should respect the president. I hate right now what I keep seeing about all this crap about Biden, like all the time, same as I did about Trump. It's just like I'm so tired of all this polarizing. I'm so this that I can't allow you to be that bullshit. So, and I'm not going to say where I align or whatever. I'm just going to say, I can let people be what they are and stop fighting.
Well, I think why
we gotta fucking work together, for crying out loud.
Exactly. Like it's okay to think differently. Like there's nothing you can think differently and believe differently and like
you have to.
Yeah.
You can't not.
Like I'm not going to agree with your point of view 100% of the time, but I can respect you as an individual and as a person and the greater human community. But I think that's why like a lot of people from California and stuff like that, why they move to Texas. A lot of them enjoy Austin because it's one of the more progressive parts of Texas, but it's still Texas.
Right.
It's just a younger. Right. It's like a.
I think you hit the nail on the head too, because it is, but it's also progressive. So it's a conservative. You get a conservative foundation, but you have this. It's like a new movement of. I don't even want to say conservative because it's really just free thinkers. Sort of trying to figure out what it is. There's just no name for it. You know what I mean? It's just like sort of a fucking cultural movement.
Well, that's why Andrew Yang, he's kind of starting his thing where like. There's no party, like it's a third party, but it's not really a party. It's just about good ideas. Because I don't think that one of my friends like said it the best. He was like, the left and the right are just two different ass cheeks of the same ass. You
I
know?
would say two sides of the same coin, but yeah, I like that one better.
Yeah. So it's like they don't represent us well, and
They don't remember. Well,
we
they're not
need
designed
something
to
new.
represent us.
No.
They're not. They're designed to balance each other, which they kind of do, but now they've reached a point where they can't because now it's just completely locked up. I mean, now nothing can be done because no sides can do anything.
Yeah.
With the other side, it's absolutely ridiculous, and we suffer as a people. We pay the price in so many different ways, and right now we're doing it at the pump, we're doing it at the bank, we're doing it everywhere we go. Can't even you can't enjoy life like you have in the past. Freedoms just have been restricted to a ridiculous end.
Well, if you take something like back in the day, like in the 1970s, like Star Wars, for example, you know, when it came out, nobody was calling Leia a Mary Sue and this was social justice warrior stuff and all this kind of thing, right? It was just more or less like they just wrote in the story a female lead who was like legit.
Yeah, strong, but also, had everything else going on.
Right. You know, it was like she was just a good character, like a well-written character. And so people accepted that, like, she was kind of like one of the leaders of, the rebellion. And so, like, when she's the general of the rebellion, when she, it makes sense. It's believable because the character was written well in that way. It wasn't, like, force-fed to you that, like, she's this, like, superhuman person because she has, like, the strength of a woman. It wasn't... It's just that they
frailties, and despite it's just that old age-old human story where it's in spite of your shortcomings and your inabilities that you overcome and get the job done. Whatever has to happen.
Well, the whole movie's about the people around her, like, underestimating her. Like, they're just wanting information from her, like they're underestimating her, like they're not taking her seriously as like a leader, but you got a ragtag group of people who they've got to all work together to accomplish a goal, and she plays an important part in that role, and no one questions it. And it's because the ideology is there. The strong, independent woman ideology is there. It's embedded in that. The character is attractive to women as a character for that reason, but like men didn't have a problem with it, because it feels believable. So I'm there with you.
Yeah,
Dude, that's why Top Gun was such a big movie. Why globally, not even just in the United States.
I haven't seen it yet. Still. I'm in the 1% that hasn't seen it yet.
Oh, it's incredible.
Looking forward to it. I'm just waiting for the right scenario, and it hasn't happened yet. Like, I want to be in, like, let's just say one of those awesome viewing studios you put together. I would kind of want to see it in that, or all of a sudden like an IMAX or something like that. I don't want to watch it on my little TV.
No, it's meant for the theater. Yeah, if it's too late to catch it in the IMAX, then you got to see it like in a home theater, or like if they re-release it at the Dollar Theater or something, like, or if you know somebody that's got a cool cinema room in their house or something like that. But yeah, that movie, the sound design and everything for it is incredible. It's incredible. And I like that they didn't name an enemy in the movie. It's clear kind of what they're hinting at in the movie, but you can kind of make it who you want. And I like that because it doesn't matter the generation. You can just assume that it's just whatever enemy you want it to be that they're facing up against.
Well, anyone who comes against us, that's our enemy.
Yep.
It's not a race. It doesn't have to be. It's not a racial issue. It's about defense and keeping our people safe.
Yep.
People want to make it a racial thing. It ain't even. But
Funny imps, yes, I was able to adapt and needed to, for that matter. COVID affected a lot of people negatively. We all had something to get through and work through. as a people to get to the end of that. But unfortunately, there was a lot of supply chain disruption. And when everything you're selling has a microprocessor or a chip or an amplifier or a control module, and those are all of the things that are being held up, which is like people can't get appliances and PlayStation 5s and all of those things. Yeah, I mean it puts a hamper on you, you know. That's why I'm glad this year that they were able to pass that bill where we can start producing. I think it passed where we can start producing microchips and things like that in the United States, so that we can kind of avoid these sorts of things in the future. But yeah, it's warp hypercore. There we go.
That's what we need to build here in the States.
Well, I get why we have a globalized economy. It allows us to partner with other countries around the world, and they can develop things more cheaply, and it lifts them out of poverty, which is good for everybody. You know, if you look at like the biggest polluting countries in the world, they're like third world countries that have like extreme poverty and like communism or dictatorships. So anything that you can do to like pull those countries with the West is helpful to everybody, including the world. They pollute less, they get more freedoms and rights, and women can make decisions for themselves and things like that. But like, there's just certain, like, we can't be so overly reliant on the international world that like when there's a disruption due to like a global pandemic or something like that, that like we have no capabilities of just producing and manufacturing bare essentials.
Yeah.
Like that's a problem.
It's a huge problem, and it's sad to me that we don't have enough visionaries in our government to sort of foresee some of the issues. Okay, look, there have been movies about pandemics. There's one actually called Pandemic here not too long ago, like, you know, a couple of decades ago. So it's not like we didn't know that this was a possibility. And the fact that we were so ill prepared for it is just astonishing to me. Now, I'm not saying that we don't need to know whether it was developed in a lab or whether it was blah 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 or any of that stuff. What we do know is that there was a pandemic sweeping the world, and how we dealt with it initially was fantastic. I thought we did a fantastic job of shutting shit down quickly. One of the things Trump did right, maybe one of the few things, but I thought he did an immaculate. What he did after that, I thought was nothing essentially. But that part he got right. He shut the shit down. Here's where the problems began: is when they didn't unlock it, and they locked it. I don't know. It's a difficult thing.
Well, hindsight is 20/20, right? Like, we can look back and be like, they should have done all this other kind of stuff, but we were still learning about the virus at that time.
Correct. That's why we locked it down. That was a good idea. But
I just don't like the division. I don't like how you've got somebody who's trying to take over the country, who's saying that because I don't trust this person, that like these vaccines I'm not going to take. But then the minute that they get into office, the very first thing they do is try to get everyone to take these vaccines. And that message was changing so much, and that seed of distrust and division and all of that was happening so early on that, like, you know,
that's a new view, but I like it. It's fascinating.
Well, and people started like just doing their own research. Well, you can find things online that confirm your own bias and things like that. So then people just started making really dangerous health decisions because they didn't trust the CDC and the government. And, you know, it's just like we've got a unity problem here, you know.
Well, that is the problem. That is the biggest crisis that we have. And that is not, it's not the coronavirus. It's not COVID-19. It's not whether the Orange Man gets elected or whether, you know, Sleepy Joe gets elected. It doesn't matter. Our biggest problem is the fact that we cannot get along. We cannot make this. We can't get decisions made. It's reached such an impasse that we can't get the simplest things done in Congress, on the Hill, anywhere. And that is the problem. That is the current. I'm sorry, but that is the nuclear threat right now. That's looming over our head, and that is going to be the destruction of America. It has very little to do with any external threats. It has very little to do. I'm sorry, now I'm grandstanding in soap boxing. I don't want to do But I just want to agree with you, I guess, and leave it at that the disunity is the biggest threat.
Yeah. I mean, Matthew McConaughey said it the best. We're not as divided as we're being told we are. I think that's that's a great quote, and I'll just leave it there. We agree a lot more than we disagree. Temporal warp computer required. What?
All right.
Yeah. I don't seem to have a rest. I guess maybe did I not turn in an expedition reward? Temporal warp with your capital ship. Okay. Warp to a new system aboard your capital ship. Okay. Well, I can't. Maybe it's just not that kind of star. Maybe I can't visit that kind of star. Let's find a yellow star. Okay, that's what it was. I can warp to a yellow star.
Oh, okay. So that's still a thing you have to have. The red, green, and yellow are the 3 different drives. So
Yep.
then what's the singularity engine in that all of that? And then I had to have. I'm trying to remember what it was called.
Well, there's definitely enhancements to your freighter's warp capabilities.
Well, this wouldn't let me warp at all, though. Was something I was missing. It wouldn't let me warp like even short, like one little hop. You know, before I was doing like what, I don't know, a couple of thousand layers of hop.
Well, are you on the expedition?
No.
In the normal save?
Yes, sir. This one here, I haven't even like got off the main screen yet because I'm talking to you. No one's watching me anyway, so I'm just trying to provide a comic relief or something. You know?
No, they nerfed freighter warping to an extent. So the freighters by default don't jump as far as they used to. Like you can't warp as far. And then you need a lot more modifications to do the warping. They did the same thing with the ships. That's why like some of my ships that I have like prior to like the next update, I never got rid of them because like my freighter and everything. That's like S-Class, my multi-tool before No Man's Sky Next, because the upgrades to them are still pre-next update upgrades.
And they still work.
And they still work. And so like I have a ship that I can jump well over 2,000 light year with, which is not as easy to do with like the new mechanics.
Wow. And
Collector
that's playing on a current version too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Cool. Yeah, I have to look into my stuff, but remember how I was glitching all my ships and stuff? Cheating, adding all the tech. Did you do that too? You never did cheat. I was a huge cheater. I was able to put like a bunch of different, like extra warp cores and stuff. So I actually have a video of me warping. It was the longest recorded at the time, longest recorded warp in No Man's Sky history.
Really?
Because I had just filled up my tech slots with warp cores, warp drives, and they all stacked.
My brother had no, you can't. My brother had like a jetpack on the Xbox version way back when he first started playing, where he could he had it. They didn't have a limit on how many S-Class modules you can put on your jetpack. So he would like go to a space station where they had like an S-Class jetpack module, and he would buy it with like nanites and like reload his save, and he would keep buying and installing them to the point where like his jetpack, like he could almost leave the atmosphere with it. You know, but like you can't do that now. I mean, to be fair, like I like when they do stuff that makes the game more difficult. If I'm being personally honest.
Oh, I do too. I also like cheating my ass off. So what I did, I mean, you know me, Panda, like when we started out, we were, what I don't know, about a year and a half in before we met, right? The game was probably a year and a half in before we met. But I wasn't glitching. I didn't know how to glitch up to that point, you know. And everything I did, I grinded out. and I sucked it up. And when they reset the planet after I discovered my Diplos and they were gone, I didn't get mad. I didn't even get even. I got busy, right, and explored some new planets and built some more stuff, and and then they reset it again. It's like I got but I kept going. I was addicted. I was bit. You were bit. We were all bit by the bug. Yeah, we kept playing. I was like, I don't care. Let them reset it every single time. I'll come back and replay it.
Yep.
But then the Super Mario base, my perfect, because that base that I made the racetrack on, time trial and all that stuff. I don't know if you ever were able to check it out, but I sort of was finding that planet that I put that on was sort of like trying to find a needle in a haystack, because it was I was trying to find oh geez, I'm trying to remember him now. He had the dragon base. Oh, I feel bad. He's a good friend of ours. But he had the Dragon's Nest base and the Sherbet.
Yeah, that was John Hall.
John Hall, that's right. Mr. John Hall. My friend in here. He's cool dude. I like him a lot. But he had that sherbet base, right? There's those beautiful colors that looked like orange sherbet and raspberry sherbet and all that. And I loved it. And I was just trying to find one that was similar to that. And that Super Mario base was just beautiful. That planet was freaking gorgeous. And I said, I'm going to put some real hard work into this. And I made a giant Mario. Did you ever see it?
I did.
That giant Mario statue. And then I put that Exo track in there, Exo Craft Racing track. And I put hours in it. It was so freaking cool. I loved it. I had so much fun with it. Until they reset the galaxy again. I was like, what? That was the final straw. And I was like, all right, I'm taking a break. Because I don't hate this game. I'm not going to get mad. I'm not going to, I'll never hate this game. This game gave me so much. And I know that after I go for a while, let time go by, let them work on it a little bit, I can come back and go, wow, cool.
Well, that was kind of my thing with it too, was like, I became dispassionate about building any kind of bases because I put so much effort into a few of them, and so did Hidden. And then anytime that there would be like an update or something would change or the terrain would change, then either didn't look the same, didn't function the same, the terrain edits would like reset and like bury all your stuff, and it was just like one thing after the next. So it's like, it's kind of hard to enjoy this game in that way when it's a constant work in progress.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. But it doesn't mean that it's not worth playing, because it very definitely is, because of how groundbreaking and different that it is.
Yeah,
it's a one-of-a-kind game. It really is.
Well, I think they're really passionate about updating it and developing it and doing things for the community. But I'm not naive, and I do think that to an extent, a lot of what they're doing here is they're learning about what all they can do with procedural generation for the next game they build.
It was very obvious that they were. This is a test game. It wasn't intended to be, but I mean, they had this new technology and no one had done it. Used it except for one other instance. And, about that, I'm sure, but and what they did with it was astonishing, but what they can do with it is way more, right?
Yep, I can agree with that.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see whether they continue to build on these bones or whether they generate some new bones to build on, because there's other games coming out that are doing some pretty amazing things too, using the same types of procedural generation, logarithms, and stuff like that. There, I'm no whiz, but they're not sitting on their laurels. So I just wonder what Hello Games, if there are any plans to do like a No Man's Sky 2 or
Well, I don't think there'll ever be a No Man's Sky 2. Like, I think that there's just always going to be No Man's Sky, because they always refer to this as a games as a service. And so when they refer to it that way, they're basically saying like from a games as a service standpoint, like there's just one of these. Like Fortnite is a games as a service. So they do different updates and different seasons and overhauls and things like that all the time, but Fortnite is Fortnite. So I think like No Man's Sky will just be like No Man's Sky. I think they're going to come out with a different game. Not even sure if it's going to be sci-fi related per se, but I do feel like it is going to use procedural generation. Dude, there's Arsenal in the chat, man. What's going on, Arsenal? Long time no see.
What's up, brother?
But that's my thoughts on it. Is like I see that there not ever being a No Man's Sky 2.
Yeah.
Because here's the reality of it. At least not right now. Mainly because for them to do any kind of last gen is holding them back. Right? The PC market isn't big enough. Yeah. So like the base PlayStation, base Xbox, like they're not powerful enough as like these new consoles to be able to take advantage of a lot of what like the new technology can offer. And there's not a big enough PC player base for No Man's Sky, and just in general. Most players are on console, with the vast majority of them being on PlayStation. And so if they do a No Man's Sky 2, it's probably going to be next gen only, and that's going to leave out a large percentage of their player base because a lot of people still can't get PlayStation 5s.
Yeah.
So
well, I'm reluctant to even try, just because prices and availability. I'll just wait. You know, I think a lot of people are or wait until my PlayStation 4 takes a dump, then I have to. But
yeah,
but
I mean,
I'm not in a hurry. But you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's $500 for a PlayStation 5 if you can get one. If you have to go through other means to get a PlayStation 5, well then you're buying from a scalper who's going to jack the price way up on you. You know.
Yeah, that's all of that going on. Yeah, but I'll get one eventually. But I don't want to work too hard. Or spend too much.
Yeah. I mean, I'll put it this way. I mean, I don't miss my PlayStation 4 at all. I mean, it is so far and away better overall. But yeah, I mean, I was lucky that I was able to get one. Just I had a connection with somebody that was able to acquire one, and so I was able to get my hands on it. And I paid just normal retail for it. I didn't pay like scalper prices or anything.
Right on, man. Well, that's where it's at, man. Hey,
Yeah.
you can do it. Do it. I would have by now. If it walked up to me and said, "Hey, what do I want? 500?"
Oh, don't feel bad, Arsenal. Don't feel bad at all. It's nice taking a break every now and again, dude. I know you got into the Beat Saber thing for a while and just got into some other stuff. Nothing wrong with that, brother. We've all kind of taken a break. It's why the FDI is dead right now. I haven't had a lot of time to put into it. I haven't really engaged with many people there. It's just difficult to find the time.
I can't do it. I just can't do it. And there may come a time when who knows, it may rise again.
Yeah.
Stranger things have happened, but like right now, I'm trying to get a business going. I'm trying to got a lot of stuff happening in the warehouse. Things have just changed, and not great. But I always have a special place in my heart for all the work we did and all the stuff we accomplished in No Man's Sky. The FDI. It was an amazing time for me. An amazing gaming time in my gaming career.
Oh, I mean, we had a blast. We met cool people. We built cool things.
Yeah,
I mean,
we hung out. We had so many laughs, dude. Like so many belly laughs.
Yeah.
Hard to imagine. Like I'd have to say we got our money's worth from this game. What do you think?
Oh, 100%. Now, I still do think that now Amino's different. It's gotten worse. The ads are crazy, and they've got this weird like live streaming thing with just a bunch of e-thoughts on there, just shaking it for the camera. So it's not as family and kid oriented as it was. I don't know what they're doing over there, but the mechanics of the Amino application, as good as Discord is, I think Amino is still better for cataloging things. So I kind of want to keep the FDI application there without like shutting it down, even though there's hardly like any active members on it now besides like myself and Starkwolf. But because we just chat on there occasionally, and that's how like we'll link up in game is like usually through there is like the first contact. But the wiki pages are really good at how you can organize wikis. Um,
It's crazy. It's really bar none the best app for gaming, for lots of different things, but definitely
yeah,
for gaming and stuff. Just because it's so colorful and it's so categories, subcategories, just it really is great. But the problem is, like you mentioned, it's not really like it's just so full of advertising and it just feels like you're just pushing everything at you a million miles. But you can still get around that; it would still be great. The problem is not enough people using it. It's just not. I don't think it's like I don't use it for any other thing, literally any other thing, and like so I actually don't even have it on my phone right now.
yeah. If you're not actively playing No Man's Sky, it's pointless. It's almost like it was built perfectly for No Man's Sky.
Yeah, yeah,
Like Discord is a better community manager. It's better for voice chatting. You can stream within Discord. You can set up groups. Like Discord's way better for that kind of thing, but it's not good for wikis. It's not good for organizing discoveries and pages and
right.
so
For all the way around, it comes up a little bit short.
yeah. So
Sure.
I leave the FDI app open for that. Like even now, if there's like a specific ship or like multi-tool that I want to find or like style or something, I still to this day go in that wiki and pull those portal codes and see if that stuff's still out there. I still do it.
Yeah, I need to do that. That'd be a kick in the pants. I never really thought about that, but I know the multi-tool I discovered, uh, the S-Class Badass, is still available. You know that much because I was just over there, so that's cool.
Yep.
That much at least hasn't changed. Not everything was erased.
One memory I'll never forget was with Chimp and Snow. We were crying, laughing, doing stunts in the exocraft. Yeah, dude, I miss Chimp. I don't know if you know about that Arsenal, but he's not. I'm sure you do. It's been a while though, but he's not with us anymore, man. Unfortunately.
I got to step away for a second, and I'll be right back. And I'd like to ask you about a little more about that because, yeah, he was a pretty special dude. Um,
Yeah.
Great community member, and I know he was a personal friend of yours in real life. And I didn't really know him in real life, but
And he was a veteran.
what a jeez, it just makes
Yeah.
just makes it even harder to deal with. But
Yeah.
what a great guy. I hate to say this, but I loved the guy. Like for as much as I knew him, just his spirit and his sense of humor is just like quirky and off the wall, but it's always right on time. And loved hanging out with the guy. I just really did. But yeah, his passing, God bless him. God bless
Yeah.
his soul.
Yep.
Anyway, I'll be right back. And,
Sure.
get right back with you.
Yeah, I figured you probably didn't know that just because I had talked about that in the FDI, but I think by that point, Arsenal, you were already into like different things for a while, kind of taking a break from the game for a bit and stuff like that, as were like many people. But unfortunately, yeah, Chimp. His dad called me one day, said the family hadn't heard from him. We actually had plans to hang out that weekend, the week that I found out, because he hadn't met my daughter yet, and he, the pandemic, everybody was quarantined and all that kind of stuff, and so then we had connected and made plans for him to come to my place, and he's not seen the new house and all that kind of stuff, and so we were going to hang out that week, and he was telling me about his new job and how much he liked it, and like we had a great conversation, and we're gonna connect. And then and I talked to him like on a Sunday or a Monday, and by that Thursday his dad was like, no one's heard from him, and have you heard? And I'm like, no, I just talked to him the other day. We were going to be hanging out this weekend. And he's like, yeah, maybe his phone's off or he's with a buddy, but he left his mom's house one day, and then he didn't really say where he was going, and didn't come back home, and no one's heard from him, and because he was he had moved out of his roommate's place and moved back with his mom for a little bit, until him and his roommate weren't getting along, and so he wanted to stay with his mom until he found a different living situation, and took his own life. Nobody saw it coming. I mean, it was like he had some mental health stuff that he always dealt with, but like we didn't realize that like there was potentially a suicide component to that. And I still think about it to this day, man. It was really fucked up. And people with, like, my wife has anxiety, my brother has anxiety, like people with mental health stuff, like, especially if it's close to you, it's in your family, you already kind of know how hard that is just in general, and how sad that can often be. But then when you're talking about suicide, like, to do that, especially for a person like him, I mean, he had to be experiencing some really traumatic pain from a mental or emotional standpoint, or what have you. And I wish, I don't know, I think about like what maybe I could have done differently, but I also wish that he reached out to me when he would feel that way, because I felt like him and I were always able to talk, and it's something that weighs on me even now, like a year later, basically. But yeah, yeah. He like planned it. He took his bicycle someplace, left it where it could be easily discovered, and left like a trail to himself. Like it was almost like he didn't want anyone to stop him. It was like he decided that that's what he was going to do, and then didn't want anyone to stop him. And so, but he wanted to be found and wanted his family to have that closure. So like he made it easy for him to find, but like no one knew, and I call his dad every now and again and check in on him, and that was his like only son, I mean, it's like fucking woof. Anyway, moving on from that. But yeah, yeah. Okay. Enter did not try to get into a conversation about that or politics in this live stream. But, when you haven't streamed for a while and people haven't talked to you in a minute, and, there's a lot of ground to cover, right? Things just come up. So I'm not really trying to bum anybody out. but it, yeah, I'm sorry. Hopefully I'm not, fucking ruining people's day here. All right, so I'm going to get 2,000 nanites, powerful movement system upgrade, powerful pulse engine, and what do I need to build said scanner? Can't remember. Chromatic metal. It's copper I need to find. That's why I built the terrain manipulator. I need to find copper. Salt deposit. Because I have a refiner on the freighter. That's why they had me build that. So that I can now it's all making sense, so that I can place copper in there and make chromatic metal, so that I can build that thing. And then we can knock out leg 1. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Got Daves and Stevens on this planet. Arsenal, I didn't know that. I didn't know that, buddy. That's interesting that you bring that up. You know, I don't suffer from mental illness. I don't have depression or anxiety or anything like that, and so it, you know, maybe for a lot of people, I'm not the best person to talk to about a lot of things because although I am empathetic and I there's room in my heart, and I try to understand people's plights and struggles and things like that. You know, talking to somebody else that feels the same way makes sense. And I'm glad that you guys had that connection and that conversation, and that was something that you guys were able to talk to each other about. I knew that he had mental health stuff. Just I didn't realize that, like I said, there was a suicide component to that. Just, dude, anybody that's gonna watch this, man, like, I know that's heavy. Reach out, man. Talk to somebody. You know, talk to somebody. You know, I would have been more than happy to tell, you know, Chimp, like, come stay with me for a while. You know, like, live in my home. Like, you know, I'll help you get started somewhere, or I'll put my name out for you, or I'll co-sign something for you, or, you know, but I think he knew that I would do that. I think he knew that I would try everything possible to not, you know, for him to not do that, I guess is what I'm saying. Because the way that he did everything, he probably knew when he made plans with me for the weekend. He probably knew at that time what he was going to do. He likely had it all worked out, and he probably knew. And he made, because I talked to some of our other friends that he made plans with, and no one saw it coming. He didn't want anyone to be caught off guard. There was no cry for help. There was nothing that, like, you know, somebody who's thinking about that, they might offer a cry for help so that you can stop them, right? Like, you know, there was none of that. It was like he made up his mind. Like, this is what I'm going to do. I don't want anyone to stop me. So I'm not going to alarm anybody, and everything's going to be and feel normal, and that's it. And that's how it went.
Wow. I'm back, by the way.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I mean, he's a great guy. He had a good friend in you. I don't know what else to say.
You know what I noticed about him is that he always struggled, like, in civilian life, and he did really well in the military. And the military is, you know, obviously very rigid, and it has a lot of rules, but there's a camaraderie and a brotherhood and a sense of partnership, and your life is laid out for you. You're going to wake up in the morning at this time, you're going to do this, you're going to do this training, you're going to prepare for this. And some people do really well with that sort of regimented lifestyle and an environment, top-down type environment. And he did really well with that, because I think it gave him a sense of brotherhood and community and purpose, and having a goal and an objective, and, you know, that sort of thing. And then when he got out of the military, he struggled with it. And I think whenever we had the flooding down in Houston, him and a couple of buddies got a boat, and they drove down to Houston with the boat. And they were rendering, I mean, the guy was a hero, basically. I mean, he was out rendering first aid and bandaging wounds and giving people antiseptic for their cuts, and helping to pull people out of, yeah. I mean, that's what he needed. You go to his Instagram, there's pictures of him in South America with, you know, children that don't have, you know, two nickels to rub together. And he's offering them his time and experience and a smile, and that's really what brought that guy peace. And when that went away, You know,
Yeah. Wow.
he lost his way. He lost himself. People don't give enough consideration to how difficult just the regular everyday world is. You know, you can be around so many people and feel so alone and isolated at the same exact time.
Dude, that is so true, man. I mean, gee. And you can't really. I was thinking about that the other day because I was feeling that way, you know. And I'm surrounded by like a lot of people, and friendly. It wasn't like a bunch of strangers, you know. I know all these people, and some are family, some are friends, but it's like it's just times where I don't know, you know. It's pretty unexplainable. Fortunately, it doesn't, you know, last forever. It goes away, you know. But there's that hole in your existence or whatever. I don't know what you call it, but it just feels an empty place. Everybody goes there from time to time. Some people just can't get loose from it. And
Yep.
Some people struggle. Other people are able to get, you know, they go there, stay there for a little while, and then they're able to come back to the real world and deal with their problems. Other people struggle a little bit with that. I understand because I feel like I'm right on the edge. Like sometimes I feel like, oh, this one I'm not recovering from this one, you know.
Yeah.
But then you do, and it's like, oh, thank God. You know?
Well, Arsenal, one of the cool things that Stark Wolf did, you know, and it wasn't planned, by the way, so I don't want anybody to like feel left out. It just kind of happened organically when he found out what had happened to Chimp, because Stark's always been pretty active in FDI, even after, you know, everything has kind of slowed down to a halt there. And I had made a post basically saying, you know, what had happened. And so the next time that we played No Man's Sky together, we went to one of his bases. And actually, I think it was Stark Wolf did it alone. I think he was by himself. I don't know why I can't remember this that well, but he wanted to pay tribute basically to Chimp Sidious, and so he took a bunch of screenshots at some of his bases that you can still access in the game, and set off some fireworks and stuff like that to kind of pay tribute to him, which was beautiful.
If I was on Amino, I probably would have seen that he was going to do that or something, and I could have gone with him, because I totally fucking would have too.
Yeah, I mean, next time that we all just happen to be on, or we have availability, we should just get in a party chat and go check it out. And every now and again, I go back, and one of my favorite streams ever was at his Rave Grave build.
Oh yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah, where we would do the little battles.
Yeah, dude, that was like the height of FDI. Like,
yep.
Like really, we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of friends. You know, what did we want when we founded FDI? What was it we were after? What were the 3 tenets of the FDI? Do you remember?
Oh, it was like freedom.
You remember it, yeah.
I know. I can't remember now. It was like freedom, fun, and friendship, or something like that. It was like.
Oh, close. Freedom, friendship, and fortune.
That's it. Freedom, friendship, and fortune. Yeah.
Which are pretty good. Like, you know, not bad. You seek after those 3 things, and we got that. Like, I feel like I got that in spades with the FDI. That was pretty cool. And I think, like I said, that time period we were rolling, and then it's like, you know, things just always happen. You know. Well, happens.
What I've found is the more mainstream No Man's Sky has become, all the old heads that were there from the beginning, or that like originally played or whatever, it's almost like we had a stronger sense of community and involvement when the game was smaller and the community was smaller and it wasn't as popular, because we went through all that stuff. We went through the original release of the game, we went through all the bad press and publicity, we went through the Foundation update, Pathfinder, Atlas Rises next. It was this constant but then once the game hit like a mainstream appeal, and there was it just like, then the big streamers started to come in. and you had the IGNs covering it, and the PC gamers covering it, and the, and Craze Gaming, and all these like larger channels like were jumping in there, which is fine, and that the game needed that, and Hello Games needed that, and No Man's Sky needed that.
Yes,
But
No
it
Man's
just
Sky needed that.
No Man's Sky needed that, yeah. But just all the old players, it wasn't our community anymore. It wasn't our game anymore, in that same way at least.
Yeah, not in the same way. It's still our game.
Yeah.
In that way, no, that was a special time, man, wasn't it?
It was, and I still have a fondness for that original game. That lonely.
So do I, bro.
Yeah, to this day, I still have an affinity to that.
I kind of wish I had an old save, dude. Like, I really wish I had not just put it on a flash drive or something like that, and then go back and play that, dude. Because that planet that I discovered so early on, like before the building mechanics, I made this base. It was a skull and crossbones, right? Like just out of this stuff, right? Because I had to do crazy stupid shit. But it had Diplos on it, and it was just the terrain. It had these giant canyons with these huge circular loops, holes in the canyon walls and stuff. So you could like be flying on this canyon, and if you knew where the hole was, you could just like hang a right and just go flying through this tunnel. Dude, the terrain generation was insane before that. There's cool stuff, but it's so different than what it was.
Well, you know who told me about the terrain in a way that made sense was Dave Langer. He told me that the terrain needed to change after Pathfinder, and I said why, and he said because the exocrafts, you can't drive them around when you've got like. And then I thought about it. I've got videos and like live streams and stuff from one of my planets that I had a base on. It was like a radioactive planet, and the terrain was so like vertical and like jutting, with the ground was so wild that like you couldn't drive a Nomad or a Roamer across it because you're just flying everywhere.
Can you stop you right there?
Yeah.
I get that 100%. I 100% get that. On the other hand,
Yeah.
what's wrong with having planets that just are so freaking stupidly dangerous you can't even land on them?
Well, I agree with that. But like what he said kind of made sense with like why, you know?
Yeah, he was right. Like he was sort of like predicting which way they were going with that. Right, they would have to change the terrain to fit the exocraft and all the stuff they're trying to do with the game.
Yep. At least it makes sense to me. Now maybe not. Maybe they just wanted the noise that they used to generate the terrain. Maybe they just wanted a more realistic sort of like looking terrain. But I do miss like those big undulating like overcropping areas and the spikes and the spires and the wild sunsets and how detailed you can see planets from another planet's atmosphere. And it definitely looks better now, but there was just something about that I miss to this day.
Yeah, and it's hard to put your finger on. Like I couldn't tell you. Honestly, couldn't in words. I'm not smart enough, but whatever. What I'd kind of like to see is what we have today, like sort of blended with what they had then, as far as terrain generation goes. What keep like the color palettes that we have now? Oh, they're just fucking gorgeous. Like I'm looking at this right now. This beautiful orange sunset. Is this live right now? You're walking across this orange planet. That freaking on my screen is just this really deep like apricot, and it's just gorgeous. So I'd keep the colors and stuff, but like the terrain generation, add it in somewhere.
Right.
I would like to see him like try to recapture, maybe on different planets or something. I don't know. Maybe use that same formula for like newer planets. Just a thought.
Yeah, just add more planets in the systems that some are just like incredibly inhospitable and difficult terrain, and like you're never going to have a sherbert planet like John Hall found. I mean, that was listed. Hello Games acknowledged it as like one of the the most beautiful planet discovered in No Man's Sky was Rainbow Sherbert.
Yeah.
That was like in one of their like updates, like
Yeah.
they like posted it, for Atlas Rises.
Oh yeah, and they weren't wrong. Like, because we were friends with him, we saw it. He saw his post and everything. We got his screenshots and went to his base, and I even built Dragon Head up near the Dragon's. What is it called? Dragon's Nest, Dragon's Rest, or something like that. Was his base. So I built this like Dragon Head next to it, which inspired my big Panzer Dragoon. You remember that? You named it. You won the naming contest. So I still have it. Panzer Dragoon is one of that Dragon base. I still have it.
That's awesome. I love that John Hall pulled the base from Strawberry Sherbert whenever you could transfer your base in one of the updates, and he transferred that base into the FDI hub system. On Anya, in fact. So that base from Strawberry Sherbert is on Anya.
That's right. I know where it is, too. It's still there? Is it still there?
I think so.
I think I just was there not so long ago. One of the places I visited, I did visit Idstein. That was another fun night, man. When we first discovered our home base planet, our home system.
Yeah.
Or you did, rather. We were just following you around, and you just happened on this amazing place. You happened to be streaming too, and we were all there. That was freaking awesome.
In Pidstain, that system is terrible. Like, it's not got a good economy. Like, but it's cool. I still love it. Like it's if you were gonna like locate a hub somewhere, like that is not the ideal place to like put one. But I just loved it. When the name is Pidstain and one of the planet's names is Anya,
You can't not.
Dude, you have to, man.
You do.
Like, that's it. That's where you hub it up at, right there.
That's what we did. We never played by the rules or went by, what convention would dictate.
Nope.
The FDI? No. Not how we did things. What I was thinking a minute ago was how hilarious would it be? I know DG still plays quite a bit. I'm not sure about Lily, but if we just like bombed into their game and just disrupted a bunch of shit, they would be like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?" They would freak out, wouldn't they?
I don't have a wiring loom. Well, I have one wiring loom. Damn it.
Well,
I'm terrible at this game.
I really am too. Just like fresh and new.
Well, in my normal save, I fucking have everything, and I'm wealthy as fuck. So like, I just buy what I need, and
you're a spoiled bitch, aren't you?
yeah, dude. Like I've been balling out of control for like since before all these updates.
Yep.
And so like I just don't have a grasp of the mechanics.
I know. That's why it's starting. That's like why I got 4 new saves, because every update, you got to do a test and make sure it's not going to destroy your original game file, because usually it was unplayable anyway, so you had to start one if you wanted to play. Until they fixed the bugs and got your original, like my legacy file had to get updated like every update. It was like this, legacy file's not working. But to get that back online, so I ended up with 4 saves when all was said and done. And I remember when we became Billionaire Club.
Yep. I initially did it the old-fashioned way I had a circuit board farm, and Hidden had a fusion igniter farm. That's how we first made like our first millions. But yeah. I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't dupe it up a few times.
Well, I never duped anything ever.
Sure.
No. Nothing but nothing but the hard way for this kid right here. This non-pirate. Never. Nope. Okay. But I did do everything the hard way, and then once I learned how to do it the hard way, grinded it all out, earned all the stuff, then I was like, all right, I paid my dues. By the way, they reset all my planets, so guess what? I will do some stuff up. I don't mind.
Well, I justified it by saying that, like, I'm a day one player. I've beat the game. I've made it to the center. I've done, so if I want to take the time to fucking do up some stuff, I can do it, and I've earned it,
Damn Skippy. And you know what's cool? All the non-asteroids in your way right now.
I know, dude. I will never get used to that. I can buy a wiring loom. What can I sell?
I owe you a big thank you for that, because while I was never as vocal about it as you are, I just still think they should have random, asteroid fields, because there are, but not everywhere you go in the game is there asteroids, and you were right about that for so long, and I do believe it was a direct result of your, because every stream, I felt like you were bringing it up at least, for a couple of seconds per stream.
Dude, every time I would stream, I would talk about the damn asteroids. Every time.
I know it. They finally they finally got to that one. I'm sure they were probably trying to work on that for a long time, but there were other stuff, you know how it is. Devs are always working on one thing or another, and there's plenty to work on, but they finally became, high enough in the queue, important enough to finally do something about it, and they did. That was largely due to Mr. Panda. Congratulations, man, and thank you for that.
Yeah, I don't know if I can take credit for any of that.
I think you could take a little bit. I would say I'm going to give you 0.5%. In a large scheme of things, you take all of Hello Games, all of Sony consideration and stuff. Give you 0.5%. That's actually a lot.
There's no way that somebody from Hello Games didn't come across one of my videos in the last since 2016 and hear me bitch about asteroids. So
when they're so active in the community and monitoring everybody, like no other game I've ever seen or before or since. Honestly, such a great job jumping into the community, literally, and becoming involved, listening to feedback, doing everything possible, even to the point of, putting people's personalized. There would be an FDI sticker if we stuck around long enough and actually tried to do anything with it, right? But Lily Hop and the cafe, they got their own in-game canonized logos and whatnot.
Yeah.
Other game does it. I mean, I'm sure maybe there is other games. Maybe Fortnite or somebody, does that. I don't know, but I've never felt so involved in the whole process of developing a game. Like, and because I mean, even from the shit show it was the beginning, we all had front row seats for this thing, right?
Yep. Well, and the reality of it is, like, I truly believe that this isn't the game that they initially wanted to release, like the one that we're playing now. Like, I don't think this was ever Sean Murray's vision for the game. I think that they've, over time, just listened to the community and built what the community wanted or expected, or what their thoughts are and how to improve it. But there are things that they talked about pre-release that they're just now adding and getting to. But I don't think that, like, this art style, I don't think that this overall is like what their vision was. Because it took so long at this point, even with all the funding they've got now, even with a bigger team, even with all this stuff, that, like, they're just now getting here. So they would have had to delay the game 20 more times, I think this is for us. Like, I think all this stuff that they're doing is, like, for the community.
Yeah. I think you're right.
We didn't give up on them, so they keep doing it for us.
Yep. That, and really, this is all they've got right now, besides the campfire thing, and I never...
That's a great game.
I know you bought it. Did you finish it? Did you play it all the way through, or is it that
game
or is it a sandbox game?
No, it's a puzzle game.
All puzzle game?
Yeah, you're this, like, little creature, who, I don't want to spoil the story for you, but in case you do end up playing it, but you're a little creature and you're helping free lost souls. And you do that by you interact with them, and they tell you like what they're needing, and you find what they need, and you solve these little puzzles with these clues and stuff, and then you free these lost souls, basically. What's going on, Cola? Ballista Cola in the chat.
No,
Yeah, Arsenal says, I know it bothered you for the longest time. It did, man. I thought you would hate the amount of steroids they added, Panda. Of steroids?
Steroids. Oh, steroids. Yeah, he's always hated having roids.
Dude. Well, I love that they're all in one place. I love the big giant asteroid field that is in one place. You know, if you run out of gas, if you run out of tritium in No Man's Sky, it's not like an open world in the sense that like you would expect with a space game. Like, it's a skybox. Like, if you're running out of gas in space, you shouldn't be playing this game. You know, like, you don't need asteroids everywhere to so that people who, I mean, come on.
Yeah. Let there be, some sort of even a trivial penalty for being a dumbass and not loading up at the space station before you left or whatever. Can't just put all the resources at your fingertips all the time.
Yeah, I mean, they can't make the game they can't make the game too easy. You know, we actually need things to be more difficult and more rare these days.
Although permadeath is pretty challenging, at least in the initial stages. Later on, it doesn't. It drops off drastically. Once you're all set, you got your first couple of billion units.
Ooh, I like that hauler. No, but it's got the crooked neck. I can't do the crooked neck.
Bro, how come I can't see chat? The last thing I see is my hashtag shit.
After I complete this, I think this is like the last mission in this leg of it anyway. And then I'm going to jump off. I'm still going to be playing later, but I'm just going to jump off the stream. I don't know how long I've been streaming now. I feel like such a noob.
Well, New York.
Yeah.
But it's been a lot of fun just hanging out with you for a little bit. I've been doing a lot of Minecrafting lately still, but when I saw, it's like thumbing through my chats and I saw Hidden Panda, I was like, you shit me? Is he doing No Man's Sky? Oh, yeah. So, and then, like I said, my daughter was playing earlier this morning, so still freshly warm on my PlayStation, so I was like, fuck, I'm popping it in. I gotta go.
I couldn't get into Minecraft, and to be fair, I didn't even try it. I had the game; it was still wrapped in plastic. I bought it, and then I sold my old PlayStation and gave it away. I never even tried it. I like base building in No Man's Sky because you're exploring a sci-fi world and you're building a base, but I don't like the act of just base building.
Right.
So.
Well, what about building? Like, do you like Sims?
I do like Sims.
So there's an aspect of Minecraft that also like the Sims because you can build farms. You're building an economy. It's got a whole tech tree. It also has an end game. And to me, okay, I'm just gonna say this. I told this to my brother the other day. And he almost laughed me out of the room, but I stand by it, man. I freaking stand by it 100%. The greatest video game ever made, Minecraft.
You think?
Overall, yeah. Overall, now now you're gonna compare apples and oranges. You're gonna compare freaking Call of Duty with Minecraft. I'm sorry, they're not even on the same stratosphere of the type of game. What I judged that by was I was thinking to myself the other day. I'm like, okay, so walking around, if I was stranded on a desert island and it had electricity and a big screen TV and a PlayStation, but only one video game, right? What game would I choose? And I thought, shit, there's a lot of good games out there, but obviously you're going to want one with staying power, one that you can play for days and days and days and days, right?
Yep.
You don't know how long you're on this fucking strand on this desert island, right? And I just thought that would be Minecraft. Like, I can't even imagine, like, I have so many hours and so many fun play times and stuff like that, and still not done all of what I want to do in that game. Nor could I ever, because it's a sandbox game, so you're only limited by your imagination as to what you want to do with it. It's not going to be the best first-person shooter. It's not going to be the best, like GTA open world, game ever. It's not going to be a No Man's Sky. It's not going to be any other game other than Minecraft. But for overall freaking playability, like, I'd have to say that is the game right there.
I'll have to give it a shot one day. But Ballistical, well, we'll start with Arsenal. It says, thanks for chatting, guys. Miss y'all in the whole FDI universe. We're all still here, even if we're not, like, active in the amino stuff. I mean, we're all friends through No Man's Sky, and if you ever see me online playing and you get the bug to jump back into the No Man's Sky universe, feel free to jump in, talk with me, chat with me. We'd do like a party chat or whatever, kind of like me and Slade are doing right now. If I decide to stream again, which I will, because I want to stream this whole expedition. But, you guys are always welcome to jump in the party chat with me. It kind of helps kind of keep the conversation flow going and all of that, because otherwise I get so, like, focused on the game, I'm not reading comments or talking. Ballistic Cola says, how many times have you reached 1,000 subs? Like 3, and then like 100 of them fall out, and I got to build them back up again.
Yeah. It's true. We'll if you ever get to the point where you've got time, like, to schedule or something like that, you and I can ever get on the same page, we could probably do, a weekly or a monthly or something, even
Yep.
streams. Hey, baby.
Well, when the winter time comes around in my industry, things slow down quite a bit. So I'll have more time to kind of jump in and do more streaming and things like that. And my kid's at 2.5. She's gonna be 3 years old.
I was just about to ask about baby Panda, man.
Yeah, she's gonna be 3 years old in December. So she's a lot more independent and autonomous, and she can keep herself busy and play and color and things. And so, if I'm streaming, she can come in the room and chill with me and sit in my lap, and it's not the same. When she was really small, it was much more difficult to kind of manage all of that stuff, But.
Sure, yeah. Well, hey, like I said, my offer stands. You ever see me on or you see me around?
I will certainly take you up on that.
Because I would like to get back into doing some more No Man's Sky stuff. Now that I'm self-employed, I'm not kind of working a 40-hour job week, and my body's, like, I'm a little bit older. I won't tell you how old, but I'm a little bit older. And,
just a little bit?
Just a little bit. But so not having a 40-hour week doesn't hurt my feelings at all, because I spent a couple of days in the emergency room earlier this month, and a couple of days in urgent care because my back. And
oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's been pretty nasty. So I'm going through some stuff. I'm looking into getting some injections, and if that doesn't do it, some surgery or something, like, I don't even know. But in the meantime, I'm trying to make this business float. And so far, so good. Not great, but good. I need more work. I'm banging out the jobs when I get them, but I don't have enough jobs. But anyway, all that to say is I have extra time on my hands. So if you need someone just to chat with while you're streaming and you want to get back into it a little bit and get your subs well over 1,000, so that so that when you take a break off, you don't go back under 1,000.
Dude. Well, and my breaks aren't like normal breaks, like, hey, I'll catch you guys in the stream next week. It's like, I'll see you guys in a couple of years, and like See when my kid graduates from college, and I'll be back. Yeah. I mean, I'm always lurking. I'm always lurking on Cobra and Sword, and Ballistic Cola. He streams early in the mornings, and usually when I'm driving around for work, I'm kind of like lurking, or I'll try to kind of shoot a chat in, or I'm kind of always seeing what people are up to. But yeah, so I'm never really like gone, and I might be in the chat under my personal like email and not like the Hidden Panda Show YouTube. thing, and so sometimes they're not sure if it's me or not, or like how Hidden was in here earlier as Rambo Perry.
Yeah, right. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've always got something kind of going on, but.
Right.
All right, so now I think I'm at the, and you haven't done an expedition yet, so there's always like a community, I forget what they call it, but it's like, it's right here, rendezvous. So reach the first rendezvous. So there's always a rendezvous point where when you're following the leg of the expedition and like, there's an area where they try to get the community to like meet up at this like one particular area, not meet up, but like it's like the junction of each leg of the expedition, of which there's like 5. But Ballisticola says, yeah, you try to fool me, but I know it's you. I know, but dude, everybody's super respectful because they'll see it and then they'll be like, I'm not sure if I should call him out right now, so I'm not going to, or something like that. So just in case I don't want to be like known in there. And not because it's like, oh, Panda, it's not like nothing to do with that. It's usually, I don't want to distract, and I don't want to be called out for anything. Like without fail, every time I'm in a Sword chat and Sword knows it's me, he will acknowledge the time where I encouraged him to start a stream and that he would not have a channel if I didn't push him to do it because he didn't really want to do it initially, and he'll do it every single time, and I don't want that credit, and I don't want to take away from his thing he's doing,
I got you. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Yeah.
Rendezvous 1. Well, I'm a fan of these guys too. I mean,
Yeah, very, very classy. All very watch-worthy, for sure. So if anybody watching is not subscribed to either one of those guys.
Dude, I mean, especially Ballisticola. The silky fucking voice of Ballisticola is ridiculous.
Just like Funny Imps. Could you not listen to that guy forever?
Oh, yeah.
But that comes natural to him. I can do that, but it's a big act for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hilarious. So I could do like a Bill Murray voice, like I can do voices and stuff. So like it's always a big challenge to be myself, try to find out who I am, I can get there.
Yeah, Ballisticola just said it's my fault because Sword started him. So I got Sword to start streaming, and Sword got Ballisticola to start streaming.
Oh really? I thought
dude,
Ballisticola was like right around the same time as both y'all.
Yeah, well, and his build, like he does, his streams are like often him doing like a unique build, and he builds some pretty epic stuff in the game.
Oh yeah, I remember. Like don't know
the Starbuck build and all that. Let's see. Alright guys, when I reach this rendezvous point here, which I just reached, this is where I'm going to call it quits and pick back up next time. Alright, so I just reward Pilgrim, I just got rewarded the Pilgrim poster plans.
Nice.
And
I guess that's good.
Yeah, there's like stuff you get. But like, so when you complete the leg of the... Here, let me see it. Let's see what it was. What exactly I got. Oh, yes, please. Exosuit upgrade? Okay. Well, let's get some cargo slot upgrades. Let's do that. Not much else finished besides that one. Yeah, so collect reward. Yeah, so Pilgrim poster plans, Polestar poster plans, heavy shipping poster plans. So like that's just like kind of customization stuff. But then like phase 2, you knock out phase 2 and then you get like rewards for phase 2. High gravity freighter trail customization, then you got phase 3, and so on and so forth. And so every time you complete a phase, you get like these rewards that you can transfer into any of your save files. So that's what's kind of fun about the expeditions, because whenever you start one, it's like starting over again, but instead of having like the Artemis path and the you go to the center path and the travelers, instead of having all these different things that are like open to you at one time, it's like a catered experience for you. Play this one storyline that's specific to this event, and then once you complete it, that's it, and you can import your whatever you earned over to your other save, and then in a couple of months or whatever, they'll drop another expedition, and then it like refreshes the game every time. Some people aren't that big on them. I think it's like one of the best things they ever did for the game, because it feels like a new game whenever I do it. I'm starting over, the character's random, the situation's random, and it's just kind of fun, and they're all a little bit different, and you're ultimately following the same process for completing the expedition, but the expedition's always different.
Gotcha. So it's the same template, but it's random on the specifics, so planets and whatnot.
Yeah, and it'll have its own quest and everything. Like you're following a story basically.
Right, but you're stranded somewhere, or you're getting something up and running, and you just have a basic mission to complete. I think that's pretty cool. I think it's pretty smart too, because I think that's what the game lacked for a long time. Something like that. My question is, is there always one active, and do they just like one expires and then the new one comes up, and then you can always activate it, or do you have to be get it at a certain time, and if you miss the ship, you miss the ship, because that would suck.
You've got to do it during that window, but like they give you 6 weeks, like for this one, for example, to knock it out, and there's like 4 weeks of it left or something like that. But I mean, it's always like they give you a lot of time because they know people are busy. But like the first 3, like I just couldn't get to them, you know. And then with one of the updates, they did it to where you can play back through them all. So like you can play back through all the expeditions again and get all the rewards. But I didn't catch that either, because I wanted the Golden Vector ship, and I wanted the Mass Effect Andromeda thing, or whatever that ship is called.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I kind of wanted that frigate. So you know, there's been a couple times where I've wanted to play them over, and then I missed that chance, which kind of sucks. But I wish when they would expire, they would just allow you to go back and do them.
Yeah, to archive them. You know,
yeah.
So you can somehow go back and do it. Well, maybe they will. Maybe that's something they're looking into.
Yeah, like maybe like with the 4.0 update or something like that, they'll give you another period of time where you can go back and replay them or whatever.
Right.
At least I hope so.
Yeah. Cool.
Funny Imps is back. Yo Panda. Oh no, that's an old chat that like just randomly popped back up in here. Okay. Well, never mind.
Dude, I can't get the chat, so I can't say hi to anybody. I don't know who.
I'm rebuilding my clock right now, actually. Nice.
So, hi, chat, whoever is there. This is your friend, Captain Slade, by the way. Wondered. But, hey, the wife's home from work, and that roast is smelling really good that I made. So I'm going to go,
Yep. I'm jumping off myself. I just hit the rendezvous point, so this is it for now.
Hey, brother. Hey, man, it's been a ball. I've had a blast. Thank you.
Thank you for keeping me company in the chat. So,
anytime, bro. You know that.
Guys, thank you for watching the stream. Thank you guys for kind of popping in and out, keeping the chat busy. Thank you, Slade, for joining the party chat with me. Happy to be back. Happy to have had time to do this. You know how it goes. I always say I want to do it more, and I plan on spending more time doing streams, and then I won't see you for a year and a half. but we'll see how it goes. But I'm really pumped that even a few of you showed up, kind of knowing the inconsistency of my schedule and when I release things and so on. So. But guys, I really appreciate your time. Thank you guys for being such a badass community. I'll catch y'all later when I start phase 2 of the expedition. So, peace.
Peace.